Philadelphia Eagles fans woke up to a different feeling in the air. Something was happening behind the scenes of the franchise, and few had truly realized the magnitude of what was being prepared. While many fans followed every move of the team during the offseason, expecting the traditional decisions, an unexpected possibility began to emerge within the organization's headquarters. A silent, almost hidden movement that could completely change the course of the team's offense for years to come. In recent months, one of the issues that most worries fans is the situation at the tight end position. Dallas Goedert has always been an important piece in the Eagles' offense, a player who often appeared in decisive moments and helped maintain the team's offensive balance. But there is a concern that doesn't leave the minds of those who closely follow the team. Constant injuries and uncertainty about the player's future have put the franchise on high alert. Within this scenario, a name that many fans may not have expected to hear at this moment is beginning to emerge. Isaiah Likely, a player who played for the Baltimore Ravens, has begun to appear as a possible real alternative to reinforce the Philadelphia team's offense. The more you observe this player's potential, the more sense it makes to imagine him wearing green at Lincoln Financial Field. Likely built his career in Baltimore, often working in the shadow of one of the league's top tight ends. Even so, whenever he had the opportunity, he showed something that really stands out: explosiveness, speed, the ability to gain yards after the catch, and an impressive capacity to appear in crucial moments. Little by little, he began to prove that he can be much more than just a complementary piece in an offense. What makes this possibility even more interesting for the Eagles is precisely the moment the team is in. The franchise needs to start thinking about the future of the position and find a player capable of growing within the offensive system. Likely emerges as someone who still has a lot of room for improvement and who can reach an even higher level when given more responsibilities within an offense. When we analyze his recent performances, it's clear that he has already begun to show signs of this growth. His receptions, his offensive production, and his presence in the red zone have shown that he has all the tools to assume a much more important role within a competitive team. And for a team that always values dynamism on offense, this is extremely valuable. The Eagles have always had a strong history when it comes to developing young talent. Over the years, the franchise has shown that it knows how to transform promising players into fundamental pieces within the roster. Therefore, many fans have begun to imagine what it would be like to see Likely integrated into the team's offensive system, working alongside the other offensive weapons and helping to create even more problems for opposing defenses. But while this possible move is attracting attention, another much bigger issue continues to dominate conversations among Philadelphia fans. The situation involving wide receiver A.J. Brown remains surrounded by speculation and uncertainty, creating a tense atmosphere among those who follow every piece of news about the team's future. Brown has quickly become one of the most important players in the Eagles' offense since joining the team. His presence on the field completely changes the offensive dynamic. He's strong, explosive, extremely difficult to guard, and capable of turning any play into a great opportunity. For this very reason, any rumor involving a possible trade causes a huge impact among fans. Behind the scenes in the league, there's information that has surprised many. The franchise's management is reportedly demanding an extremely valuable package if any team truly wants to take Brown away from Philadelphia. The message is clear: if anyone wants to take one of the team's top receivers, they'll have to pay a very high price. This stance demonstrates something fans are already very familiar with. The Eagles' management doesn't usually make hasty decisions. Each negotiation is carefully analyzed, and the team shows no rush to let go of such an important piece of the offense. After all, losing a player of Brown's caliber would have an immediate impact on the field. Even so, talks continue in different parts of the league. Some teams are showing interest, others are still evaluating the situation. Meanwhile, Eagles fans are following everything closely, trying to understand if this is just another typical off-season rumor or if there's really something bigger being prepared. And as if all this wasn't enough to stir things up behind the scenes at the franchise, there's another extremely important situation that needs to be resolved. Management is also working to secure the continued presence of a player who has become fundamental to the team's defense. Jalen Phillips arrived in Philadelphia bringing energy, intensity, and an impressive ability to pressure opposing quarterbacks. Within the defensive scheme, he quickly showed that he could become one of the most important pieces of the defensive line. His presence on the field helps elevate the level of the entire defense. Now the franchise faces a complicated challenge. Keeping a player of this caliber requires a significant investment, and the team needs to find a way to balance its finances while continuing to assemble a competitive roster. Even so, there's a clear effort being made to ensure that Phillips continues wearing green in the coming seasons. The reason is simple. Players capable of consistently pressuring the opposing quarterback are extremely valuable in the league. When a team finds someone with this talent, the goal becomes keeping them on the roster for as long as possible. Despite some injuries that marked earlier moments in his career, Phillips has shown enormous recovery capacity and resilience. His last season was proof of that. He was present on the field, contributed to the defense, and demonstrated that he still has much to offer in the league. With all these stories happening at the same time, one thing is clear to those who closely follow the Philadelphia Eagles. The franchise is living through a decisive moment. Every choice made now can define the team's direction in the coming seasons. The potential arrival of a new tight end brimming with potential, the uncertainty surrounding one of the team's top receivers, and negotiations to retain a key defensive player all demonstrate that the organization is working intensely to find the perfect balance within its roster. And for passionate Eagles fans, there remains a mix of anxiety, expectation, and hope, because anyone who follows this franchise knows one thing very well. When Philadelphia starts moving behind the scenes, big changes may be on the way. And if these decisions are made correctly, the team may be preparing to write another remarkable chapter in its history within the league.
And now I want to hear from you, the one who follows every move of the Philadelphia Eagles as if you were inside the locker room. Because true fans know that moments like this can define the future of an entire franchise. Every decision made now can completely change the course of the next season, and perhaps even the next few years. We're seeing potentially important changes happening simultaneously. The possibility of a new name taking over the tight end position and starting a new era on offense. Increasingly strong speculation involving one of the most explosive players to ever wear this jersey in recent years. And at the same time, a silent battle behind the scenes to keep a fundamental piece of the defense on the team. All this shows that the franchise is in an extremely delicate and decisive moment. And as passionate fans, we know that when the Philadelphia Eagles start moving like this, something big may be in the works. That's why I want to know exactly what you think about all this. In your opinion, should the team invest heavily in Isaiah Likely to take on a bigger role on offense if a new phase really begins at that position? Do you believe A.J. Brown should remain one of the team's main offensive weapons? Or do you think that if a huge offer comes along, it might be time to turn the page and start a new offensive strategy? And about the defense, do you believe that keeping Jalen Phillips should be an absolute priority for the franchise? Or do you think the team should evaluate other possibilities to further strengthen that side of the field? The truth is that the Eagles' fan voice has always been one of the strongest in the entire league. The passion of these fans is something everyone knows. And that's exactly why I want to see this space full of opinions, debates, and analyses from those who truly live every moment of this franchise. So go to the comments now and write your opinion. I want to know what you would do if you were making these decisions within the team's management. What would your plan be to take the Philadelphia Eagles back to the top of the league? And if you love following every news story, every behind-the-scenes rumor, and every move that could change the destiny of this franchise, then you need to be part of this community that grows every day here on the channel. Subscribe now, because here you'll find everything about the Philadelphia Eagles, breaking news, behind-the-scenes information that many people don't share, in-depth analysis, and constant updates on everything happening with the team. Also, activate notifications because new information can emerge at any moment, and when something big happens, you'll want to know immediately. The offseason is far from over. Many important decisions are still being discussed within the franchise. Negotiations may advance, new names may emerge, and some surprises may appear when we least expect them. And you can be sure of one thing. When any news explodes within the Eagles universe, you'll find out here. So stay tuned to the channel because at any moment we may return with another update that could completely shake up the future of the Philadelphia Eagles.